Since releasing my 6 things to do first in Pokemon TCG Live video last year, a lot of things have changed. Stuff like the Premium Pass, coins, and Arceus League have all been removed, while shop limits, an overnumbered card crafting ban, and a third daily quest have been added. Unfortunately, if you're starting PTCGL in 2025, some things have never been worse for new players. On the bright side, if I hadn't said anything, you wouldn't have known. So, I guess I just made everything worse, huh? Don't worry though, I'll try to focus on the positives here. Because as bad as things seem on the outside for boomers like me, supple virgins like you don't know any better. And frankly, those first few days and weeks in live are the best times you'll have simply learning the game and having fun playing with your deck. The first thing to do, obviously, is start up the game. Be very careful here though. This isn't TCG Pocket where you can change your username every month. If you want to be Buttlicker69, you better be sure. Whatever you decide, I'll include a link to download the PC or Mac version in the description, or you can head over to the App Store on your phone to grab it. Just make sure you get Pokemon TCG Live and not Pokemon TCG Pocket, as they're two completely different games. And for TCG Live specifically, you will have to create a Trainer Club account, which can be done in-game or on Pokemon.com. Once you're in TCG Live properly, Professor Fur introduces himself. Feel free to skip the character creator since you can change your avatar at any time. Then, if you've never played the Pokemon trading card game before, I highly recommend going through all 6 battles in the tutorial. Otherwise, if you know what you're doing, skip all battles and move to the next part of the intro, viewing the Battle Pass. Until May 29th, it's the Journey Together Battle Pass. If you're watching this video after that date, it'll be the Destined Rivals Battle Pass. And in mid-July, it should be another new Battle Pass. Regardless of the date, your first order of business is simple. Claim the Battle the Professor daily quest. This special one-time quest awards 200 trainer points, up from the typical 100 every other quest gives. Immediately afterwards, you open your first pack at Tier 1 of the Battle Pass, which I don't think is predetermined. Then the Professor forces you to spend those 200 trainer points you just earned on a single booster pack of Obsidian Flames, which is predetermined. That's because you get another copy of Charizard EX to add to your existing free deck. Once you've completed the deck editing process, Professor Fur makes like a tree and leaves. So now you're free to do whatever you want. Well, almost. The first thing that will happen is you're welcome to the latest ranked ladder. PTCGL can't count or tell time, so even though it's May, you'll be in the April ranked ladder. These ranked ladders typically last 4 or 5 weeks and provide rewards like packs, trainer points, and cards. For now, since you're just a little baby, you start out in Nest League. Even if you lose here, you'll still receive ranked points. Once you reach Quick League though, you will have to win. Now, depending on when you play live, you may receive a 1,000 trade credit bonus. If not, just skip through all these messages as they can be reread at any point. What you want is the Battle Pass free deck. For Journey Together, it's Hop Zacian EX. Claim it to add another 60 card deck to your collection. Make sure you click Collect All in the top right, because that will speed up what is typically a laborious process. Alright, now you're truly free to explore live. What you want to do now is head over to decks. By simply booting up TCG Live at any point before March 2026, every player receives 8 decks featuring Charizard EX, Dragapult EX, Goldengo EX, Greninja EX, Hydreigon EX, Mamoswine EX, Pikachu EX, and Tealmask Ogerpon EX, which is actually a Raging Bolt EX deck. These are automatically added to your decks, and the cards inside them are added to your collection forever. Along with the Battle Pass free deck you just claimed, now there's 9 total to choose from. While the cards themselves inside those decks are all good, and the lists include plenty of great staple cards, the decks aren't all created equal. Charizard, Dragapult, Goldengo, and Raging Bolt are the best, while Greninja, Hydreigon, Mamoswine, and Pikachu are the worst. So start with the good ones and ignore the bad ones. Okay, at this point you either have 300 or 1300 trade credits in your account, but 0 trainer points. Luckily, there's easy ways to improve that. Something you absolutely have to ensure you're doing every single day is your daily quests. This is actually one area where things have improved since last year. Rewards from daily quests have more than doubled, and there's a third daily quest instead of 2. These were already a great way to level up your account and blast through the Battle Pass quickly. Now they're even better. By completing each daily quest, you receive 220 Battle Pass experience as well as 100 trainer points. If you get a quest that seems impossible to complete, like finishing 2 matches without conceding, you can change them once per day. There's a wide variety of quests, including ones focusing on playing specific cards, attaching a certain type of energy, putting certain Pokemon into play, and much, much more. So try to tailor them towards your taste. I lucked out on day 1 and managed to get Evolve 4 Pokemon and play a match with 4 Metal Pokemon in your deck, meaning Go EX was the deck of the day. The reason those daily quests are so important is because they're the best way to earn trainer points, which are that purple gem currency. Those trainer points are then used to buy items from the in-game shop, which can earn you trade credits as quickly as possible. I'll cover which items you should be buying very soon, but for now, here's a quick rundown of how many trainer points you can earn from daily quests. By completing all your quests in a week, that's 2,100 trainer points. And over the course of a full month, that's 9,000 trainer points. To put that number in perspective, the main thing you'll be buying from the shop are lead battle decks, which cost 1,250 trainer points. So in a month, you can buy 7 lead battle decks just from daily quests. You also earn trainer points from leveling up your profile and reaching new leads on the ranked ladder, so getting to 10,000 plus trainer points in a month isn't impossible. I know I'm throwing a lot of random words and numbers at you that probably don't make sense, but the bottom line is, do your daily quests, damn it. Oh, and you have to manually claim your daily quests along with your ranked ladder league entry rewards. Yeah, don't ask me why it's not automatic, PTCGL is just kinda weird that way. While you do have to be diligent about your daily quests, you can be a bit more munchlax when it comes to the Battle Pass. Yes, completing daily quests earns you 220 experience each, but that's not the best way to level up the Battle Pass. Instead, simply battling online against other players will see you reaching tier 75 in as little as 2 weeks of moderate playtime. Regardless of whether you win or lose, you earn experience at the end of a match. If you lose, it might be as low as 50. If you win, it could be as high as 800, though around 600 is more likely. Depending where you are on the Battle Pass, each new tier takes 500, 750, or 1000 experience to reach, so at the start of the Battle Pass, one battle could equal one tier. Each Battle Pass lasts on average about 2 months, so make sure you pay attention to the end date listed on the Battle Pass page. In total, by reaching tier 75 of each Battle Pass, you will receive 75 packs of the newest set, 10 God packs of the newest set, 2,000 trainer points, 1,000 trade credits, another free 60 card deck, and a whole bunch of ultra rare cards. That other free deck is unlocked at tier 34, so make sure you're always getting to at least that point. For Journey Together, the free deck is N Zoroark EX. You can get a preview of the list by going to tier 34 and clicking on the Zoroark deck. This page will also show you the new cards you'll receive so you don't accidentally waste trade credits on them. In this case, Hyper Aroma is a brand new aspect for the collection, as are all those ENS Pokemon. As I mentioned, battling is the best place to earn experience, and playing in standard casual is totally fine. You can complete daily quests and earn experience, you just won't increase your ranked rank. Unfortunately, there's no barrier limiting tryhards from entering casual, so there's a 50-50 chance you'll face another new player, or someone as good at Pokemon cards as me who wants to farm easy wins with their fully blinged out tier 1 deck. That's why I usually suggest going to ranked, because you'll potentially battle other trainers in Nest League, which is solely reserved for newbies. A big advantage to ranked is that you earn trainer points for reaching every new league. It's 300 for Poke League, 400 for Great League, 500 for Ultra League, and 600 for Master League, meaning you can earn up to another 1,800 trainer points each month just by battling. While ranked may seem intimidating, you don't actually lose ranked points for a loss until you hit Ultra League. So even if you lose 1,000 games and win 40, you can still make it to Ultra League. No matter what happens, just spend a lot of time battling with the free decks. My advice is to limit yourself to a few battles every day early on as you learn the game, completing your daily quest in the process. The daily reset happens at 10 AM Pacific, 1 PM Eastern, so plan around that. In addition to leveling up the Battle Pass organically, you'll also increase your profile level through battling. While the rewards do end up at 100 trainer points per level later on, in the early going it's typically just 50. After an hour of gameplay following these tips, I had earned 700 trade credits in addition to that free 1,000 the game gave me. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make some upgrades to those free decks. While several of them are great as is, if you want to make it to Master League, you need to improve them. Thankfully, it's super cheap and you already have the resources needed to do so. I have a few other videos detailing how to upgrade the free decks, except they get a bit wordy and confusing. Because you're a baby bird, barely ready to leave the nest, for right now I'll only be focusing on the cheap versions of those upgrades. As a reminder, the best free decks are Charizard, Dragapult, Goldengo, and Teal Masked Ogerpon. So that's where I'll focus the attention. First up is Charizard EX. One of the great things about having so many free decks is that you get a lot of staple cards for free. So something in one can help out in another. This reduces the number of trade credits you need to spend. Case in point, Fezandipiti EX. This guy draws you 3 cards if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Add it to pretty much any deck and you'll immediately improve it. Thanks to the fact that it's already free in the Golden Go deck, you don't have to craft it. Instead, the only upgrades you need to make are 260 hit point Pidgey, 1 Briar, and 1 Jacq for a total of 280 trade credits. Next up is Dragapult EX, arguably the best deck in Standard right now. For a mere 260 trade credits, you can make the necessary baseline upgrades. This is limited to 2 extra Dusclops for a total of 4 since it's an amazing draw engine, 2 Bidoof to slow your opponent down by item locking them, and 1 Jacq. If you're planning out which cards to craft, know that commons are 40 credits, uncommons are 100, rares are 400, and EXs are 600. For Golden Go EX, while Togekiss is funny sometimes, it's not consistent enough. Relying on a coin flip with a stage 2 to maybe get an extra prize card just isn't worth it. The much better option is adding to Dunsparce, which is already free thanks to the Greninja deck. This increases the amount of cards you can draw each turn, which is super important for Golden Go. You also want a copy of the Baby Golden Go from Surging Sparks, as this is a single prize attacker that helps you get around someone like Mimikyu who walls EXs. Additionally, we go for the 70 hit point Gimme Duel because the 50 hit point ones get chewed up way too easily by Dragapult. With these baseline upgrades, it's 380 credits, but you will eventually want to add 1 to Dunsparce EX for 600 credits. Any deck that runs the Dunsparce line for card draw can chuck in a copy of Dunsparce EX and have a decent backup attacker. Until you have a spare 600 credits though, just stick with the cheap list. Raging Bolt's upgrade is a little more expensive at 940 credits, but it's for good reason. Taking up 600 of those is Latias EX. This card should be in everyone's collection. It simply gives all of your basic Pokemon free retreat. If you don't want to get it now though, skip the Latias and run for Raging Bolt. Otherwise, another Fan Rotom and Koraidon as well as a 3rd Energy Retrieval are great additions. Fan Rotom helps get Hoothoot and Noctowl out of the deck on turn 1, while also offering up a single prize attacker who can deal with low HP basics. Koraidon on the other foot can deal up to 180 damage if Raging Bolt attacked the turn previous, and Energy Retrieval helps you continue dealing big damage with Raging Bolt. I'll include lists in the description for all of these cheap upgrades so you can import them into Pokemon TCG Live and craft whatever you're missing. Omitting the Latias EX into Dunsparce EX, I was able to do the minimal upgrades for each of the top 4 starter decks for a total of 1200 trade credits. And to get those 1200 trade credits, it took just 15 battles. Yes, that was helped by the 1000 credit boost for playing before May 29th, but it highlights how quick and easy you can make the improvements. Now, if you don't have a deck list to import and want to craft a specific card instead, it's a little bit more involved. When editing a deck, click on Filters, then under Show Cards, select All. Search for the card you want, click on it, then hit Exchange and confirm exchange. This will definitely be helpful later on if you want to craft 1 copy of more expensive staple Pokemon like Bloodmoon or Saluna EX, the Dunsparce EX, Latias EX, and Monkey Dory, all of which see heavy play in multiple decks. Now we come to the part of the video that will break even the hardiest of men. Remember all those trainer points you've been accumulating? Well, now it's time to spend them wisely. I won't bore you with all the details, but farming trade credits in 2025 is a lot tougher than it was in 2024. I'll do my best to guide you in the right direction, but there's far too many variables going on right now, so don't be surprised if the numbers aren't 100% accurate. Basically, as soon as you get to 1,250 trainer points, which could take as little as 1 day if you do really well in ranked battles, or as much as 4 days if you just do your daily quests, you want to start spending them. And the first thing you want to buy is the Shadow Rider VMAX Lead Battle Deck from July 2022. I specify the date because you have to go to the shop, click View All Bundles, then scroll all the way down to July 2022 to find it. For an idea of how long it took me to get these trainer points, I did just 12 battles over 3 days, was still in Quick League, and only reached level 8 on my profile and just tier 13 of the Battle Pass. With a full week of playing and seeing some success in ranked, you could easily get to 3,000 trainer points. Anyways, as you can see, it costs 1,250 trainer points for the Shadow Rider VMAX Lead Battle Deck. Buy it, and you'll be gifted with 0 trainer points. I know, it's scary, but this is the part where you need to trust the process. The whole goal with TCG Live is spending those trainer points to get as many trade credits as possible, which you then use to craft cards to build decks. But now that nearly all shop items have a purchase limit of 4, there's going to be some lean times. The good news is that buying your second Shadow Rider deck increases the credit gain to around 3,300. The third one is 4,100, and so is the fourth, for a grand total of just over 11,000 trade credits for 5,000 trainer points. I know it's all super convoluted and barely makes any sense, which is a great way to describe TCG Live's economy. All you need to know as a new player is that buying 4 Shadow Rider lead battle decks before anything else is the best return on investment. Immediately after the Shadow Rider deck, buy 4 copies of the Ice Rider VMAX lead battle deck, which is right next to the Shadow Rider deck in July 2022. One of my handsomest viewers did the math and determined that this method will give you over 11,000 trade credits in exchange for those 5,000 trainer points. Now's where you must look within yourself and ask a very important question. Is it better to spend $600 on a life-size Vaporeon doll or on a Switch 2? Also, how long do you plan on playing Pokemon TCG Live? If you're in it for the long haul and don't mind grinding away for a few months without obtaining too many new cards, buy Celebrations packs. If you don't mind sacrificing long-term gain for short-term rewards, continue with purchasing league battle decks. Path 1 is Celebrations. This is by far the best expansion when it comes to credit farming, as there's only 50 cards total and every card is a rare or better. Unfortunately, you don't start earning credits until you own 4 copies of a card, and Celebrations packs only have 4 cards in them. So for the first few months, it'll be off to a slower start than Regigigas. But once you get to, say, pack 200, the credits will start flowing. If I did the math correctly, someone who does their 3 daily quests every day will be able to open about 50 Celebrations packs per month, which means after 4 months, you'll start to see your investment really pay off. Path 2 sees you buying more league battle decks. It'd honestly take me weeks to properly do the math on the exact right way to spend each and every last trainer point to its fullest potential, so instead I'll try to point you in the right direction. Thanks to the default free decks every player gets, your collection on PTCGL has a lot of staple cards. So when you go to buy lead battle decks like the Charizard and Dragapult ones, you're potentially earning 1,500 to 2,500 trade credits right away. If I crunch the numbers correctly, 4 copies of the Charizard lead battle deck is 9,600 credits total, and 4 copies of the Dragapult lead battle deck is 8,300 credits total. These are great for short-term gain, but due to the new shop limits, your credits don't get stretched like a Hitmonlee's foot into my mouth. After Charizard and Dragapult, you could go for any of the other lead battle decks. I know it's a confusing image, but this shows you how many credits one lead battle deck will give you if you own 4 copies of every card. Just be aware that the majority of cards you get will only be playable in Expanded, not Standard. Ultimately, buying the 6-pack Celebrations bundle endlessly for 1,120 trainer points is much easier and straightforward, but it requires a lot of patience. Going for 4 Charizard decks, then 4 Dragapult decks, then 4 Miraidon decks will see your credit score increasing right away, but you will eventually come to a bottleneck. I wish this was easier to explain, but I've played TCG Live for more than 3 years, and the economy has never been more difficult to track than it is right now. The 7th and final thing new players need to do is learn to roll with the punches. With each new monthly update to Pokemon TCG Live, there's a chance the game gets worse. I've been covering Live since day 1, and it's clear the developer doesn't know why things break so regularly. There's glitches where you can't select cards when searching your deck, and random freezing is commonplace. Not to mention your phone overheating like crazy after just 2 minutes. Even ignoring the unintentional issues that cause massive game-breaking bugs, when things do go according to plan, they introduce things like shop limits and an over-numbered crafting ban. This means you can't manually craft new full art cards for 6 months after release. And shop limits weren't a thing for the first 3 years of Live's life, but now you can only purchase 4 copies of something, hurting the overall new player experience. Essentially, while the Pokemon trading card game is amazing, Pokemon TCG Live is not. Yes, it's one of the most free-to-play friendly card games out there, mainly because there's no microtransactions, but the fact that the game doesn't make any money really shows. I know things kinda got confusing towards the end there, so I'll simplify the 7 things you should do first in Pokemon TCG Live. First up is battling the professor and learning how to play the game. Then claiming your free deck and messing around in casual or ranked. While battling, ensure you're completing your 3 daily quests every single day. By battling and doing those quests, you'll level up the battle pass and your profile, earning even more rewards. Once you've gained a few hundred trade credits, do some upgrades to the free decks, making them even stronger. And as soon as you get to 1,250 trainer points, buy the Shadow Rider lead battle deck from the shop. You won't get anything right away, but each subsequent purchase will reward you with plenty of trade credits to upgrade decks and buy new cards. After that, decide if you're in for the long haul or not. If you are, buy the 6-pack Celebrations bundle endlessly. If you're undecided, buy 4 of the Charizard EX lead battle deck, then 4 of the Dragapult EX lead battle deck. You probably have several other questions about TCG Live, so be sure to check out my starter guide linked in the description. Or feel free to ask away in the comments. Even if it's 6 months after the video goes up, I will find you no matter how hard you try to hide from me.